But on the plus side, anything said, like if you have to cough or clear your throat, you just move away from the mic and that should not be picked up.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna fall asleep on the mic.
No, for sure. Who's Mike?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, no, it's the mic.
Right.
She
Can't
said
see
the
him,
mic,
yeah.
so apparently it's a pretty big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the only one.
The-
You're the only one.
I have 90 songs running through my head. Basically, everything that you have said since you came in the door has referenced a 90s song for me.
I'm the only one for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what song?
I'm the only one.
I'm
Melissa Etheridge.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then when you said the line about the corduroy pants, all I could think of was Bob Seger and Sonny and Cher and whatever that song is, where he's speaking the whole thing.
Colton, no,
yeah.
Sean Colton.
Everything's
I love that song so much,
gonna
yeah.
be alright. That
Well,
one.
oh,
Is
I'm
that
curious
right? No,
about
it's a
this.
guy. I think that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Sean Colton.
Rockabye or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He also sings, I drink good coffee every morning. It's from the Garden State soundtrack. I just don't think I'll ever get old.
I have to look it up.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious about where all the Cowboys have gone. That's so
I love that song.
so much. Me
That
too.
will never
so
get
much. Me
old.
too. Yeah, for sure.
Why don't you have a fancy mic stand?
Well, it wouldn't fit back here in this corner.
Okay.
It's not Kenny Chesney.
No, don't think so. Do you guys have dentists that you would recommend?
Robert Palmer.
Well, they were pretty good to me on Friday. See my new teeth?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sean Mullins.
Oh yeah,
Sean
yeah.
Mullins, where did you go?
Dr. Melissa Jones here in Berea.
Dr. Melissa Jones in Berea.
It's like Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry or something like that. I don't remember.
Okay.
It's over at the other exit.
I go to Maxim Dentistry across from Save-A-Lot.
Okay. So there are good some options at least in
Yeah.
town. I got me a cavity or maybe two, I do believe.
There's this dentist up in Richmond. They specialize in children, and it's really phenomenal. I went up there with 3 kids, all had appointments, and they did them all simultaneously.
Nice.
And this, it looks like a play place with dentist chairs.
You're talking about
peppered
Madison
through.
Pediatric
Yes,
Dentistry. That's where we
yes.
go, for sure.
Isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's the coolest dentist I've ever been to.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
nice
perfect
little
for kids.
door.
They have video games
Yeah.
in the waiting room. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's great.
They weren't here when my kids were little and needing to go to the dentist, so they they go still to Pediatric Dentistry of Hamburg.
Nice.
And it's the same kind of thing. They do their appointments simultaneously, and everything there in-house, and there's play place and video games and TV and all that stuff.
At Madison Pediatric, they write the names of the children on a whiteboard who have appointments that day. And we are discovering that no one in this region has there's not even a frame of reference for what in the actual my child's name is. There's not even like so she's black? Is that what is who? What? We get Satya a lot. But this particular person wrote Fatia.
Oh my god.
I have a picture of it. It was the wallpaper on my phone for a long time.
Fatia.
Fatia Thompson. I was like, that's what they called me. So.
That's really funny.
Passing on the legacy.
Right. I'm sorry, I just said a bunch of bad words. We can start anytime y'all want.
Yeah.
So do we need to do a sound check, or have you been doing it?
Well, yeah, I've been doing a sound check. I think we're good now.
Okay.
We'll see though. New equipment. We'll see what
That's
happens.
true, new equipment.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go ahead and scrap this episode. It's not even going to work.
Darn, hate that. Okay.
Yeah.
People will be disappointed.
Well, good morning. This is the Nerd Factor from the Madison County Public Library in Richmond and Berea, Kentucky. I'm April.
I'm Brandon, and I have a new mic.
We all have new mics.
Yay.
This should be an interesting experiment. I don't even know. I feel like it's too far away from me.
They look all newfangled. It looks like, it doesn't look like a microphone. It looks like, don't really know. Like, if it had a fuse on it, I would think it was like a bottle rocket or like one of the big M80s or something.
Maybe it is,
I
and
don't-
Lucas is trying to prank us all.
Just blow our faces off.
Right up the nose!
That would be hilarious.
Right.
Not.
Oh, this is Cece, by the way.
And
I'm
this is-
It's
tired.
her. There she is. It's
Yeah,
Cece.
good morning, good morning. I think this is our last recording. I think, I have to double check my calendar.
Right.
But I think this is our last recording, so the last time we're getting together of season 2.
Good, I hate
Next
you guys.
week you'll have our brand new.
We both had snide things to say, Cece.
I just said fiscal year 2018.
Oh, I didn't.
What do you think I said?
what a
Oh, I
terrible
thought you
thing
said
to
good,
say.
I hate you all.
That's what Brandon
I
said.
thought you said forget you guys or something.
Man, I really do have to go get my ear fixed. I can't hear a thing. That is so funny. Fiscal year 2018. Yeah.
Well, sorry.
I was like, oh, jeez.
Sorry for pointing that out.
Oh, man.
Yep. So yeah, well, gosh, it's been a good season. I've talked about Star Wars and not much else. I feel
Avengers.
like. Yeah.
Talked
Okay.
about
That
that.
did
Yeah.
happen.
But you know what? That's okay. That's kind of your thing.
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Oh,
I think
that was a
about
great
that.
one. Actually, I was happy.
That
we
was a
talked
good
about
one.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, well,
Yeah,
good.
we spent some episodes on food.
Okay. Some
We
episodes.
said-
That was great.
More than one.
Yeah, that's okay.
We spent an entire hour on food last week.
Yeah, we
that's
did.
True. You guys are making me feel better. Thanks. I'm not just.
Apologies if our last episode made you hungry.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
not really.
Hopefully you could eat an entire box of Cheez-Its while you watched the episode.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
Yum.
Mm-hmm. You guys, they have white cheddar Cheez-Its.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Shortly after our last recording, I went out. Well, I was at the store anyway. I didn't go exclusively for
You're gonna need
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its after that.
But
Yeah.
by golly, I took me some Cheez-Its home.
The best is a white cheddar Cheez-It and a hot and spicy Cheez-It in the same bite.
I honestly
Have you
can't.
guys tried the grooves? Here we go with another food episode. But have you like the grooves though? They're like really thin and more like I don't even.
It's like
know.
an
They're almost like a
air fryer
really.
cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really and the white cheddar ones of those are even
Ooh.
better
No, I
than
don't
the
know.
white cheddar
It's
cheese.
called
I would
it's just
agree
called
with
a
that.
thin.
They're called grooves because they look like ruffles except
Okay.
obviously
They
square
have ridges.
and they're
Okay.
really good.
I'm not really a fan of
Oh.
flavored snacks like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a Cheez-It's good because it's a cheese cracker, but then you make it the hot and spicy Cheez-It, and I no longer like it.
Or the pizza cheese.
Or the pizza chips.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
love all flavored things.
potato
Me too,
chips
yeah.
and corn chips, the original. Those
Okay.
are for me. Doritos are okay. I like Doritos. You
Yeah.
put me in front of a game with some Mountain Dew, and I'll go out. and
No
Doritos.
doubt. Not even a
Chips
question.
are just
yeah.
a delivery system for a sauce. And
Well-
you gotta have a hummus or a salsa or something. That's what the chip is
Use
for.
flavored chips.
Brandon cannot even handle that.
Yeah,
That was
The
so
point
cute.
of a flavored chip is to circumvent the need for
A sauce.
a sauce altogether.
But have you had buffalo flavored pretzel chips dipped in
Yeah,
ranch?
it's
And Frank's hot sauce. Together, just mix them together, or do just a little drip of Frank's on top of that.
there are exceptions for everything.
Oh man.
But as a rule,
Okay.
the
What were
sauce
those
is
pizza
important.
flavored chips back in the day? Do you remember that?
Were the ones with the Keebler elves on them?
Yeah.
What?
I remember the packaging.
I
Was it like a
had a vague
pizza
memory
Reno
of
or
this.
something?
I'm on
Pizza
it. you
Ritos?
guys.
You're really
I'm
close.
on it.
Let me see.
I don't know because I can't remember those.
They were coveted in my house.
Honestly, at my house, any chips were covered in.
Yeah.
Anything that was like crunchy, like popcorn, chips, crackers, anything like that.
Holy.
I was all about it.
Pizzerias.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pizzeria!
I-
They're like Doritos that were exclusively
Listen.
pizza flavored.
You know, I didn't like those.
Oh my
They were
gosh.
gross.
I was thinking right now, I would do literally anything to have a bag of those right now.
I thought
Well,
for
you
some
just go get a
reason-
bag of pizza combos. Those taste the same.
I can't eat the cheese in there though.
Oh,
dude.
true,
Oh, my
true,
mouth
true.
is watering looking at
Honest.
them. My 1994 mouth is like, what? Where
I
are you,
literally
pizzerias?
Googled pizza chips 1990s.
I googled Keebler pizza. I love. Here's something I do, and I think I've probably done it with you guys when we text like pictures and stuff. Whenever like something funny comes up in like a text message or like a social media thread, and I want to include a picture, I'll do that. But then I'll also include like I'll be like FYI in case you were curious. The Google search was that I used to find this picture, and I think that's almost funnier than the picture because it's kind of like
Sometimes it
Ross
definitely
Perot
is.
funny
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
Barack Obama derp.
What did I say that Google interpreted into this image?
Exactly,
Right.
right, exactly.
Well, what I love is like, how did Google get these terms to search this particular thing. So other people have to be searching that and putting these terms with it.
Maybe we can snot.
So it's just great.
Yeah, dude.
Listen, there is a change.org petition to bring back pizzeria
Heck
chips.
yeah, man. I will sign that.
Change.org petition?
And that is
I'm
why
not
no one
signing.
respects change.
Thank you. Thank you, right, for sure.
Listen,
Don't do
zero
it.
have signed, oh, no, wait, okay. So 662 have signed,
Okay.
Wow.
662?
yes.
Well, that's not gonna do anything.
No,
We
it's
need
not.
6,062,062 before Keebler's even gonna
And
look
this has
our
been
way.
around for like 7 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
No.
that's not.
Come on, Keebler.
Yeah, no, change
Well,
that
you know
word.
what? We need to send that link to me.
Okay.
We're gonna make this happen.
That
All of
would've been
our-
662,
Yes.
664.
Six-
Yeah, right, for sure.
Well,
Yes.
there's at least 4 of us.
But two of us are gonna like.
666. Oh,
peter
there we
out
go.
a
That's
little
where it
bit.
should stop.
Yeah.
666. The 4 of us
666.
sign it, and then that's where it
No.
should stop.
Yeah. Kill it proper.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed also in change.org. They're like, there's like a petition for Trump and his administration to not build the border wall. Don't build the wall, but we do want Keebler pizza chips. Thanks for your
It's
attention.
the
Like-
important things.
Yes, priorities, guys.
All right, change.org. I
Wow.
don't know how I
I
feel
just
about
sent you all the link.
Awesome.
Have you all seen the meme? It's like, what do we want? Legalize marijuana. When do we want it? When do we want what?
That's great.
Maybe when widespread legalization
great.
of that happens, then they'll bring back pizzerias.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
You know what?
we have solved the pizzeria thing.
There's
That's
Yep.
when it will happen.
Yep. Those Keeblers.
Oh, that is too funny.
Okie dokie, you guys.
I
Marigolds.
gave you some things to edit out.
If you.
Good Lord. I gotta tell you guys a story. Well, you
Oh,
guys
boy.
kind of already know a little bit about what happened to me on Friday.
Exciting.
So, Friday morning, I got up. Normal day. I was feeling fine. I go and I'm eating my breakfast, which is generally a granola bar. I won't say the brand
Bowl of
because,
soup.
huh? It's a bowl of soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
It's not a hearty bowl of oatmeal, as Brandon eats his oatmeal.
It's hearty.
So I'm eating my granola bar that has a lot of almonds and things in it, so it's really dense and you have to chew on it a lot. Well, as I'm chewing on it, I realized that I broke a tooth. And this tooth is now inside of my system somewhere because I didn't even know it until it was gone. I swallowed half of my tooth.
I think when that happens, you have to say swallowed.
I swallowed. I done swallowed half my tooth.
There it is.
There
Thank
it
you
is.
very much.
Good.
April.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
With that
So-
back draw whistle.
How? What?
A back draw
Can
whistle
you
through the
can you
tooth.
do it?
I can't.
I can't.
It's
either.
Oh, I
unfortunate.
wish
I'll let
so
that
much
sound
that
in
What,
there.
how do you? I don't even know how you
Like
would do
when you
that.
miss it when you talk.
Right. Like
I
this.
don't-
There's
Yeah,
a,
very good.
is it on Winnie the Pooh
Not
in Fringe?
Yes.
I done swallowed half my
No,
tooth.
it's,
He's like, what do you pay, honey?
yeah.
Oh yes,
I can't do it.
yes.
You know, he was only in the cartoon. He wasn't in the book.
Was he not?
No, in the cartoon, every time he shows up because he's a fixer, like he can do stuff to help.
That's it. That's
He's like,
right.
He's like, you know, you can't look me up. I'm not in the book. And the entire time you're thinking, well, he's not in the phone book, because that's the joke. But the joke is that he's not
He's
in
not
the book.
in the
Winnie
book.
He's only in the
Oh.
cartoon.
That's really
Yeah.
Who's
cerebral,
not in the book?
Disney.
The
The gopher.
The gopher, yeah.
Oh, I was
Oh,
thinking,
yeah, okay.
Could
I
be,
got the
yeah.
whistle thing now.
Yeah,
okay.
what's the difference between a gopher and a beaver anyway? Anyway, sorry, April.
Well,
continue.
no, a beaver has like a flat tail, and they build dams and things. Gophers tend to live like under people's houses.
They have to be like.
We have one in our
genetically-
neighborhood that I'm currently trying to terrorize out of the neighborhood.
They
I
have
don't want
to
to
be.
kill it, but I want it out of my neighborhood. So I'm trying to terrorize it. So I put like mothballs all around my house. I mean, if
Gophers
I
don't like mothballs?
nope, apparently.
Well,
If you take a clear glass bottle and jam it down into a hole,
Uh huh.
it will the light refracted into the hole plus the smell of what it works best if you use a beer bottle because of the yeast in the
I
beer.
can do that.
So get yourself like a clear beer bottle,
Oh, a clear one.
or a clear bottle and then put some beer residue in it because once again it's the yeast in the beer helping. But you jam that down into a mole hole or what's this other thing we're talking about?
Groundhog.
Groundhog.
beaver dam.
Anyway,
Drink my empty beer bottle,
the
beavers.
refraction, the light, and the smell will push subterranean creatures away.
Really?
So
Okay.
Just litter your yard with trash. and it puts them
Perfect.
Just-
And then when Tom mows the yard, it'll just run over them and shatter them, and then there'll be grass all over the yard. That'll be perfect.
Love it.
Keep all the kids out of my yard too.
Mhm.
So I
Maybe-
also Googled, are gophers and beavers the same?
I am so glad glad that you did that.
They are not the same.
Just straight no.
But they're of the same order.
I knew it!
Mammal, but like everything is.
Yeah.
Like every rodent is
Wait.
the same order.
I mean,
But
technically
they're not
we're,
more
I mean,
closely related. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. They have to be like at least in the same genus.
I mean, if the requirement is mammals, we're the same as
same
gophers and
order.
No,
beavers.
yeah,
It's the
right.
same order.
Yeah, but what
They're
I'm
all
saying is,
rodents.
right, family,
Yeah.
Kingdom, phylum, class, order. That's only halfway there. I would figure that they would be more closely related. Is all I'm saying. Do you see? King Philip, one. Something. You guys remember the acronym? The
I do not.
No.
well, I remember the real thing. So why
mononucleotic
do I
device
need to
or
know
whatever.
that?
I know, right?
Mm. Well,
Anyway, so yeah, so I had broken my tooth.
go for
Back to
papers.
that. I had broken my tooth, and fortunately I'm not in any pain because when I was a very, very young child, I had a lot of ear infections. And so as a result, when my adult teeth came in, they were very, very weak. And so 2 of them came in black, they had no enamel on them.
Oh,
and so my 2 front teeth started just disintegrating when I was around 12.
Really?
So they put this composite stuff over the front of them, and then that was what they left it at when I was about 12. So 24 years later.
It was about time for something to go awry.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I've needed 3 caps now since November,
Okay.
and it's just, I mean, the bill is due on my very weak teeth.
Expensive also.
Oh yeah, and our insurance
It's
doesn't
dental
cover
work.
crowns,
Yeah.
so that's fun.
It doesn't cover crowns?
It doesn't cover crowns.
Delta Dental doesn't?
Nope.
Does it cover cavities, you guys?
It covers
Because,
cavities,
oh,
but it
okay,
doesn't cover
good.
crowns.
Good.
Yeah, that's the one thing that our insurance doesn't cover, and I was like, great. But I'm on Tom's dental insurance, and it does cover it, so I'm at least hanging good there. But anyway, so I'm trying. So I called the dentist, and I'm like, can you get me in? I just broke a tooth. I'm not in any pain, fortunately, because it was just the composite that broke off. But like, I had to have it fixed. And it's Friday before a 3-day holiday weekend, so if I didn't get it fixed, it was going to be Tuesday before I could get it fixed. And by then I would be in pain and really just awful to be around.
Yeah, good call on your...
So I called them, they said they could get me in at noon. I'm not in any pain, so I come into work. And so I'm there and I'm working, and then they call about 45 minutes later, we're going to need more time with you than we actually have allotted. Can you get here sooner? Well, no, because I had to post the podcast and do some other things. So I left work at 11:30 to get to Berea for my appointment at 12. Get to the interstate, and it's entirely shut down southbound.
No. Oh no, what happened, I wonder?
I have no idea. So I'm like, well, crap, how am I going to get to Berea? So I go 52 to Berea, thinking, okay, I'll take my turn. It was the closest to where I was. I just needed to get here as quickly as possible. I'm on my phone and somehow managed to miss my turn. But it's been years since I had been on 52, and so everything looked different.
Yeah.
I somehow ended up in Paint Lick.
Yeah.
Oh.
For my appointment that was at noon, it's now 12:10.
Oh no, and you're in paint.
And I'm in Paint Lick. So then I turn on the GPS, and I'm like, I need to figure out how to get back.
Yeah.
It says that I'm 18 minutes away,
That's right.
and then my phone dies.
That is a day.
It is a day, but fortunately I managed to at least see enough to know where my turn was.
Okay.
And so I got on that, and at this point, I'm crying, I'm mad, I threw my phone into the floor of the passenger seat, I'm screaming, I'm just throwing a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old in my car.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
I was so mad. And so then finally I managed to make it to the dentist. I walk in and I'm here.
No.
And they're like, are you okay? No, but I will be.
You're like, I haven't even laid in the dentist chair yet.
And going to the dentist, the other thing is, going to the dentist makes me incredibly nervous anyway, because
Who
I,
likes the dentist?
being a redhead, you burn through anesthesia so quickly.
Yeah.
Back in November when I had to have a tooth removed, they actually were trying to extract the tooth and could not get me numb enough. I actually had to go to an oral surgeon the following day. It was horrible.
So what's the deal with that? How come redheads?
I don't know, but it's a trait that
It's a real
redheads
thing.
just actually have, is we just burn through anesthesia super quickly. And it takes a
Is
it
it
takes
because
a
you don't
lot.
have a soul?
It
That
probably is,
is
because
for
we're trying
sure.
to numb things with the anesthesia,
That's for
because
sure.
we don't, the pain of having to steal other people's souls. because we don't have one.
Right. The lack of having a soul just kind of makes the body go, ha 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 ha. Your anesthesia does nothing on me.
Right, right. So I finally get there, and this is when I realized that our insurance doesn't cover crowns. Because they're
This
like,
is April's bad
This is
day.
really
this is,
terrible.
and there's still more.
April's
Really bad.
day.
So they're looking at the two teeth, at my two front teeth, and she go, really, I want to do crowns over both of your front teeth because there's just no way that we're going to be able, you know, this one has already broken once before, this one has now broken. You're just going to continue to have problems with these. So I want to, you know, I want to put crowns over both of them. Well, how much is that going to cost?
Mm. No.
$1,800.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Man.
Because our insurance didn't cover the crowns. And so I was like, well, we're not doing that. We're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I'm on Tom's insurance. And so, at least for dental, how much will it cover? How much will his insurance cover? All right, it covers 60% of it. It's like,
Okay.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm laying in the dentist chair, and I'm laid back, and I just start crying again, because at this point, I'm relieved. They were like, well, hopefully your day will get better. And I was like, it already has.
Yeah, but
Can't get a lot worse.
Yeah, the highlight of my day was the fact that I was at the dentist, and I actually got two brand new front teeth. They put crowns on them.
Yeah.
They were actually able to straighten them out, and they look like you can't even tell.
I have
But I feel
no idea.
there was at one point where I felt like Pennsatucky from Orange is the New Black. I was like, I got new teeth. So that was my Friday, and so,
Jeez.
but I did get to spend 4 hours of the nitrous going, so that was fun.
Wait, you had nitrous for 4 hours?
4 hours.
Your Miss April's bad day just turned into April's awesome.
Well,
After like
that's
20 minutes, you're like, who
afternoon.
cares?
I was laying there and I was like, and the
Cares
tears were running out of my face because I was finally relaxed and it was coming, the adrenaline was crashing and everything. So I was like, oh, I'm fine now.
Mhm. Nice.
But yeah, so that was my day on Friday. But my topic actually stems off of that because they actually used this machine to cut out my replacement teeth.
Oh.
They put like a because I was hearing this machine in
Not
the
like
background.
in your mouth.
Yeah. No, not in my mouth.
Okay.
Like, I mean, although they
That's like-
did, I seriously, there's a picture, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there was a picture that I took mid-process when they had like filed down my front teeth
Oh.
and they were like jagged. I seriously,
Nice.
I looked, as I've been staying it, I was like, I look like somebody's second cousin from Pennsatucky.
You look like a local yokel.
I looked like a local yokel. I seriously did. There were gaps. They were jagged. It was ridiculous because they took like a millimeter off of both sides of my two front teeth to be able to put the crowns on them. And so it was like, oh my
You
god,
could have
that's
just
ridiculous.
cosplayed as Killer Croc. You could have kept it
I
that
could have.
way,
I could
you
have.
know.
Yeah, because that would have been great fun.
For like 2 years. If
Yeah.
you wait till Halloween. I'll be back in October, you guys. I
Let's
gotta-
stick with this.
got a date with a...
Yeah, just wait till November 1st. I'll be back. Then we'll do
Right,
this.
right.
But no, so I'm hearing this machine going behind me as I'm just laying there waiting. They did a cleaning and all of that stuff because I was like, well, I'm here. And so I'm hearing it going and it sounds like a 3D printer. And so I'm thinking, are they 3D printing my teeth?
Is that... Okay.
And apparently there are machines that do that.
That's insane.
But what this one is it takes a ceramic block and they put the block in there and then it cuts out the tooth to fit a scan that they do of your teeth.
Well, I mean,
How
that's
freaking
not
cool is
that
that?
dissimilar from...
It's
3D
really
printing.
not.
Yeah.
It's basically, instead of building it up out of nothing, filling the empty space with the, filling the negative space, I guess, with the filament for 3D printing, they're just removing the excess
I'll be a son of a
to
gun.
create negative space.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
And yeah, and they did 2 of them. And so they put the teeth in, and as they're trying to file them down and make sure that everything fit, I had these like 2 purple teeth in my front. My 2 front teeth were purple for a little while. I was like, well, that's
kept them like
interesting.
that too.
No doubt,
I
right?
was like, But they looked at me like I was crazy midway through the process when I was like, I want to take a picture like this.
I'm gonna selfie.
They're like,
They're like, are you sure? You really want that? And I was like, are you kidding? This is priceless.
I don't care.
It was great.
Wow.
It was really great. So that was my Friday.
Was there any pain involved? I mean, I know you said
Not
you had
until
a
later.
little nitrous, but okay.
Not until later.
Okay.
I mean, once they got everything really good and numb, because they weren't cutting down into the nerves or anything.
Mhm.
That was the problem with having a tooth extracted. Also, it was one of my not my wisdom teeth, but like one of my molars in the back.
Mm.
So with that, they were cutting like down into the nerve and everything, and they just could not get it blocked. Whereas
I can
this,
feel that.
Oh, I know. I know.
As you talk about
but
it.
because of those problems like that, that's the reason that I have such trouble going to the dentist. And so I'm like, laying there, like I had to force myself to unclench my hands and like relax, force my shoulders down because
Yeah.
otherwise it makes you, when you tense up like that, it actually makes you burn through the anesthesia even faster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And if you haven't eaten anything, it does. And if your adrenaline is up, it does.
Sure.
So you have to like force yourself to calm
They'd
down.
have to, like, horse tranquilize me.
I mean,
Well, they pretty much do have to for me.
Anxiety and
they'd have to
adrenaline's like what I
unbundle
run
club
on.
my head.
Just bring your own club.
Brandon has gone bye-bye for 2 or 3 hours.
Well, I would have if I could have, but the nitrous was pretty great for that. So, but yeah, so they were able to cut these teeth out of nothing, and they did this scan, and I could see the 3D rendering on the screen of my teeth, and they were just marking the parts that they wanted to have cut out, and it was so cool. I was like, this is totally going to be my topic for the podcast.
I mean, they can basically
Yeah.
3D print anything.
They really
like
can.
body parts.
I mean, yeah, they're doing absolutely.
Like, I feel like there was a 3D printed, I don't know, hand or
Well,
something
there-
recently that could actually, like,
There's prosthetics that are being 3D printed a lot,
Uh-huh.
but they do have medical printers. They did I saw a headline a few months back, maybe 6 or 7 at this point, where they had 3D printed or a skin graft
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw that.
directly onto the open wound.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That is just insane to me.
Isn't it insane what they can do with technology now?
Magical.
Though? It's just, it's mind-boggling.
When
Absolutely mind-boggling.
when Skype was brand new, so I guess now we're talking about probably 10 years ago or something like this at this point. When it was brand new, I spent a lot of time kind of setting up the internet and setting up a new PC in my grandparents' home, and I put Skype on it. And they live in northern West Virginia, and we don't get to see each other but just a couple times a year. And so then a couple weeks later, I was home, and I got a phone call, because it's in the early days of Skype. That's how you get a phone call to say, you want to get on Skype, you know?
Yeah.
So, right. So we
You gotta
did.
check to make sure they're home.
Right, exactly. So we did that, and it was my grandmother's first time on Skype. And I'll never forget, as long as I live, I'll never forget it, because she was very emotional.
Aw.
She was like, first of all, she was like laughing almost like a child, like with like glee. And then she began to cry. And she it was like crying she was like weeping on Skype, and my grandfather was like patting, like holding her, and like patting her back. And when she finally spoke, I was like, is this really like the awe of this 80-year-old woman? And it was. She said, when I was a kid, this was called a video phone, and it was science fiction. I never thought I would ever live to have a phone conversation. She kept on calling it a phone conversation on TV. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, but
So-
that's putting it into terms that she could relate, I guess.
Exactly,
That's
right.
that's
There's
wow.
an Alexa ad right now. I don't know if y'all have seen it, or maybe it's a Google Home or something. But it's this older lady, and she has a box on her porch, and it just says, open me or whatever. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So like she, opens it up, and I think it's an Alexa.
Mhm.
So there's like a card with it, and it's like dial or say, hey Alexa, call home or whatever. So it calls home, and there's like a video component as well. And it's like, I guess, like her kid and her grandkids and all
Yeah.
that, and she's all crying.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah,
I got like a little
yeah.
I'm gonna
teary.
cry right now.
This was
Wow.
my Nanny Joe 10 years ago or
Yeah.
so, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And it stuck to my ribs, man. I think I'll always remember it. So
I mean, my grandparents and I text each other, which
yeah,
is crazy
for sure,
to me.
for sure.
And they use emojis and they send gifs and all that.
Mhm.
Okay, so do they do it like, typical grandparents using emojis, or do they
No,
like use
I
them?
mean, it's pretty contextual, I would say.
Okay, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
Like, my
it's
grandmother-
super adorable either way.
I know.
but,
there was one night my grandmother sent me a text, and she writes out a text like you would like professionally write, an email,
Mhm.
and explained that they used this gift card that I gave them to the restaurant, and the food was really good, and they just really enjoyed it.
Aw.
So then she followed that with a gif of Mr. Bean eating fried chicken.
That is what? Okay. What?
Okay, your grandmother's awesome. That's
Okay.
really cool.
That's
Yeah, my grandparents and I do not text because, I mean, they have cell phones, but they just, half the time I don't think they even have them on them.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, except that's a reason for having a cell phone, so you can get a hold of them. And if something happens, I'm not bitter.
My grandfather uses commas instead of periods.
Oh, yeah.
So everything is one long sentence.
One big long with a lot of comma ellipses, just
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
separating his thoughts. It's fun. It's very funny.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, he's great.
Do they have a jitterbug phone?
Dude, do those even exist anymore?
know.
I loved the Jitterbug phone. I don't know if they do or
Do you
what
remember those?
the current incarnation.
They had like giant keys.
I remember
There's a
like
flip
there was
phone.
one for
Cell
them
phones for
that
really
was
old
like
people.
well, and then also they had a version
Called
for
Jitterbugs.
kids too.
Called the Firefly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I
A
remember.
jitterbug and a firefly.
I know. Right?
Yep.
I know.
And they were like it had 4 numbers programmed because we thought about getting one for the kids because it was I think at its height of popularity right before they were ready to get phones or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
And then their dad bought them iPhones, so it's like, well, never mind.
Yeah. Right.
Go for it.
I mean, my first phone, I left it off like all the time.
Oh, yeah, you
unless
don't-
I was literally
Yeah.
in the car.
You turn it on
driving.
when you want to use it.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was only if something happened while I was driving.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure. Well, they were super expensive too. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember? Do you guys remember roaming?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Dude,
thinking of that the other day.
Roaming was a dirty word.
Oh
Well,
man.
yeah.
You better throw that thing. You better put it under the wheel of your car and back up over it if that thing says roaming. Like.
Yeah. Well, see, what's funny is I think my first cell phone, I had I think I was working at Bluegrass Station up in Lexington, and so I was looking at the service area, and it looked like it covered everything. Well, it didn't cover where I worked.
Mhm. You were
So
right.
my first
Your phone
bill
was nice.
was real expensive.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, chewy. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
that was
yep.
I got rid of that phone real
It's
quick.
intense.
You all know they're still roaming, right?
Is there still
That's what
roaming?
it is.
Yeah, my
No.
phone actually, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a part. I don't get charged for roaming,
Yeah.
but my phone
It
will go
changes
into
the kind
roaming.
of service that you get. Like generally speaking,
Huh.
text and talk are completely fine, but you'll notice a difference in your data capacity.
Yeah.
You know, you have
Really?
your full, what is it, 4G LET, I don't know. But
Right.
LTE.
so
Right.
you'll notice that little icon will change to a triangle.
That's
Well,
when
my
you-
phone gives me a
Oh,
notification
yeah.
that says
Well,
you have now entered
The only
roaming.
time I ever have this happen is in Winchester.
Huh.
Yes.
But 627 between Loves and Winchester.
Yes,
I
that's
hit
the
roaming.
exact same place, and then
But that's
there's one
it.
place
That's
on
the
the way to
only place
Moorhead where it
between
allows
here
to do
and
it.
Are you
Charleston, West
guys
Virginia, that I see that.
Verizon?
I
Or
Sprint.
Sprint.
I'm Virgin Mobile, which I think is Sprint.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
AT&T.
I haven't seen a roaming
I haven't
on a
either.
cellular, and now I've been AT&T for many, many years. I haven't seen roaming in that many
Maybe,
years.
Yeah.
maybe they don't do it.
Yeah, so if you come from Love's Truck Stop and then pass by Boonesboro, right about the time
Oh, I
you're
know
getting
that
ready to
road
pass
well, yeah.
Boonesboro
Yeah.
is where it will drop. Somewhere right there
Really?
around Boonesboro.
And it just
It'll-
throttles
it'll-
you way back on data.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
still get the weather, but you can't get Pandora.
Gotcha.
kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. How about that?
And you don't get it back until you're like most of the way up that hill. Or
Oh,
maybe
big.
even like all the way up the
I
hill.
don't say it's about Speedway whenever I notice I can get it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Winchester?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I get mine back way before then, but.
Ooh la dee da.
Just because my system's better.
You guys.
my crap
What's so
phone.
funny about this is that all these things have changed in a relatively short period of time.
Oh,
Oh,
an
yeah.
incredibly short period of time.
I mean-
Yeah, for sure.
Less than 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, like that first cell phone I was talking about that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I was pregnant with Katie.
Yeah.
Isn't it something like 95% of all of the scientific, like revolutionary scientific discoveries and technological advancements have happened in the last 1%
Oh,
of
yeah,
human
I'm sure
history?
that's
Like there's
correct.
this,
Oh, yeah.
there's this timeline that you can look at that starts at I don't know where it starts. It's dawn of human, beginning of recorded cave paintings. I don't know where it starts, right? But I know
Recorded
that.
cave paintings.
Since the Industrial Revolution,
Yeah.
advanced
Crazy.
technology,
Yeah,
further, yeah.
How
it's-
fast it's happened. I mean, why aren't
It's
we
happening
living on Mars yet?
so
Why?
quickly.
We're all gonna die before we're living on Mars. It's not gonna happen in our lifetime. It's probably not gonna happen in our kids'
I
lifetimes.
feel like you made a big
I don't
jump
know.
there.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting that, 10 years ago, the concept of talking to someone on
On the video phone, yeah, that's
was
true.
brand new, and
Right.
now it's like, whatever.
Right.
Well, now
There's-
there's
I can
FaceTime
Skype
people.
we could
Yeah.
all literally Skype each other or FaceTime each other while we're sitting here at this table on our
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
could.
hate to FaceTime.
I
It's
know.
just so weird to me.
Hmm.
I'm just like, I don't wanna, just let me sit
Yeah,
over
I
here
really,
so
it
you
would be a
can't
lot
see
better
me.
if I didn't
Yeah.
have a picture of myself in the phone.
With
Right.
a little thumbnail.
Because-
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen, not the camera, so I'm sitting there watching my eyes
Oh,
just kind
yeah.
of lays
Yeah.
down,
I
not a
think
fan
you
of
can
looking at
maybe
myself
turn that
anyway.
off, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't
It's
know, but I love it
necessary, I would
because,
get myself off if I didn't,
Right.
I mean, I love
So
it,
do I,
and
for
I
sure.
find it funny.
I don't have a large enough viewing area.
Right. I definitely would do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know
I'll
if
believe
there's,
that
if we
later.
can't, if there's an option to do that. Anyway.
You have anything to say, Cece?
Nope.
Yeah.
What I like about it is, I think it's funny mostly, is like when you set your iPad up or whatever and you're gonna FaceTime and it's tilted back and so it's kind of like getting your chin and you're
Oh,
like,
it's terrible.
look at this, I'm like 600 million
That's
pounds.
like when you leave your Snapchat like on the camera that's turned around. You're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I am just, listen, I'm all nose. Like, I'm like a friggin' toucan, you guys.
Listen,
Like,
I read something that said since the whole selfie thing was invented,
Mm.
not like you're turning your phone around, but like the camera, you can push a button and it
Mhm.
turns
Oh,
around.
yeah, right.
People have gotten more nose jobs
I'm sure that's true.
because
Really?
your nose actually looks some percentage bigger when you turn the camera around
That's
on
comforting
your phone.
for me to hear because the other day I recorded a video of myself on my phone to send to my kid. You know, I was going to text it to her mom, and when I was working a long day, you know, and the whole video I was like, "Hi, baby, Daddy misses you," and inside I'm like, I want to chop the nose off my face. I want my nose.
Just keep in mind that your nose doesn't actually look like that.
Okay, I
For
appreciate
some
that.
reason,
The
it's
camera
something
has
the
to
camera
balance.
does to your face.
Well, it's because
Really?
it's not taking a perfectly flat image of the environment. It's
Right,
kind of curved.
right.
It actually makes my nose smaller. It makes it like more pointed.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I will take that. I like that. I will take that. But then this thing really shows. But it's okay. It balances it out because like my chin ends up being like 3 chins, and it's like it's fine. Yeah.
I just don't understand the whole selfie thing.
Yeah, I've never gotten it either.
I mean,
But you know, the
I
very
think
first
they're fun.
photograph ever taken was a selfie.
Oh yeah, right. I know this. I forget who it was.
It was the camera was like the size of a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
And they took a picture of themselves on the camera
Right.
using 2 mirrors.
Right, right.
And that's the very first photograph.
You can find that. It's not a,
Yeah,
it's not a
it's
difficult
really
image to
by
find.
line.
Yeah.
6 whole hours of them sitting there.
Right,
I
right.
have no idea for every time.
Oh
Watch
my
the birdie.
god.
Isn't that why like no one smiled in old photos?
Yeah,
they
because
just
it's-
sit there
Yeah,
forever.
how long it took. And
Yeah.
and that was also kind of carry over from the painting of portraits,
Mhm.
since that time took on, you didn't want to sit there and smile through a portrait, so, whenever that was the standard, whenever photography came onto the scene, they just kind of kept the standard and ran with it.
Mhm.
The stoic face was just the way it was done.
Yeah, it makes you think that no one had a sense of humor back then, but apparently they were actually really quite fun. As what I've read anyway. I don't know.
Time traveler. April. This is the episode where April is the time traveler.
Yeah,
Sometimes
totally.
I look at what we consider the classics from the past. We've got Shakespeare is the thing that comes to mind first and
Mhm.
foremost. And it's
That
like,
seems to be set as the standard.
well, but why is that the standard? Is it the standard?
I don't
that there was
know,
nothing else that was
honestly.
any good, or is it because his work is the only work that has survived?
There's so
And
much
if
of it.
so,
Yeah.
are we going to be in 300 years looking back on the classics of Justin Bieber?
I hope so.
I don't.
Wow.
I think
No, I think
Yeah,
that
No, it would not be the classics of
Shakespeare's
Justin
pop
Bieber. It
culture.
would be the classics of Justin Timberlake.
Oh well, okay.
That's what it would
It
be.
changes things drastically in my opinion.
It does. Shut up.
You guys.
it's just gonna be that. It's gonna be May meme.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, right? They're going to be like worshiping a picture of it.
Yeah.
Of Justin Timberlake and his ramen noodle hair
Yes!
from like 1998.
Be a tapestry.
Right, it's a big tapestry.
It's gonna be May.
Sits in the chapel.
And like when they greet each other, they'll be like, "What's up, bro? No strings attached. What's up? No strings attached. What's up?"
No.
Guys, that was a
Oh.
deep in-sync joke that nobody.
No, I
I
totally
got
got it. I totally got it. But my brain went to
Well, la-di-da.
La-di-da.
no. My brain went to the Handmaid's Tale, where it's like blessed be, and it's like no strings attached.
Yeah,
That's the blessed.
And
That
also-
will be the new blessed be.
And also none for you. I got nothing.
Fonzie be with you.
I'm sorry, you guys.
And also with you.
Anyway.
lordy.
I washed my hair in dry shampoo. That was going to be my topic. Can we talk about it for a second?
Yeah.
Please.
Dry shampoo.
It was terrible. Have you guys ever used dry
Oh, it's
shampoo?
awful. I hate
I don't
hate
like it
that
at all.
It was terrible. I've never done this before.
I only ever use it for old age makeup.
So I am, oh, wait, what?
Because it makes your hair stringy.
No, well that, but it also adds, if you put enough of it in, it makes your hair white, and it makes it look, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you use
Oh,
that.
so
Need
there's this
help with
utilitarian use as well. That, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
because I bought some thinking, oh, I'll use dry shampoo, it'll help me get longer. No, it's awful. I
Yeah,
hate that
it's
stuff.
bad.
So I don't know what this is at all.
Oh, dude, thank you for asking the question. So I'm teaching at a festival, and I'm gonna go camping for the better part of a week,
Is this the play
about a
thing?
month. It is, yeah, it's play thing. It's wonderful. And so they have shower access there, but it's very limited, and they're conserving resources and this kind of thing. So I said to myself, I'm gonna take a deodorant stick and some dry shampoo. But I had never used dry shampoo before, so I'm like, let's buy some and give it a test run at the house, right?
Can you tell us what kind you bought?
I got good dry shampoo. Well,
Okay.
what one might consider to be good. I went to Lush in
Oh,
Lexington,
yeah,
and I
so
got
you did
really
show out
good.
some
Yeah, I
money.
can't remember. Yeah, I did. I can't remember the name because they all have like fancy schmancy names or whatever. But
I love that place.
I do. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
love Lush a lot. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And I got lotion that has helped my dry
Whoa,
elbows as well.
It was my turn.
They
That's
have
good.
some really awesome $11 soap there.
They really have some very good $24 like.
$11 soap
Yeah,
that's
right.
literally the palm of my hand. It's the
That's
size of it.
100%.
Oh my God.
I paid $20 for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. It's like eight ounces maybe of
Yeah.
dry shampoo, and it's like a powder. It favors texturally. It favors like a baby powder, maybe a little bit more coarse than that, right? And you just rub it in your hair, and then it absorbs a bit of it absorbs into the oils in your hair, so a bit of it kind of goes away. And the rest of it, you can kind of, it just says shake it out, right? And your hair's, and it's touted as y'all may know, it's touted as like a temporary thing. Like you do your dry shampoo for a day, and you better wash your hair tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that kind of an idea. My hair felt like, it felt like ramen noodles. Like it hardened my hair.
I say
and, like,
dry ones or cooked ones?
Dry ones for sure. I could you guys, I could hear my hair. Like, just walking around my house, I was like, well, is that my hair? So- Right, no, it was crunchy. So I don't, dry shampoo I don't think works for me unless someone out there in Nerd Factor fandom world, you guys, has
I
a
don't like
better,
it.
better recommendation.
But, I mean,
Yeah,
you're
I
not
don't either.
supposed to wash your hair all the time.
How long are you gonna be unable to wash your hair?
I don't know, 4 days.
Oh,
I
man.
just say don't wash your hair.
From
Yeah,
when to
it's-
when?
I think a Wednesday
I
to a
would shave my
Saturday
head.
or something.
I have a lot less.
4
hair,
days
so
I
maybe
could go. I mean, if I like washed my hair
but-
like that morning or whatever, I could go 4 days. I mean, by the end of the fourth day, I would be dying to
Yeah.
wash my hair.
So I have
But
like,
I could do it.
my hair gets pretty gross, you guys. I think it's because there's a lot of it, and maybe I'm just a gross guy anyway. Plus, it's like the dank June 90-degree humidity.
Okay, in that case,
You know,
no, I would be dying by the end of day one.
It's kind of I get a little drippy,
That face.
We'll
Just
take
a
a
little-
case of water.
just a little drippy, you know, kind of down the sides.
The good thing, I'm so grossed out right now. I'm just so grossed out right now.
I think that is like our goal is to gross
So
you
I've
out.
been trying to, I'm trying to think of ways to mitigate that, and I might just wind up driving home and kissing my baby and washing my
Shower.
hair, having a little
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
So that was it. I was
There's
wondering-
this shampoo bar, and
I've seen this too.
supposedly
Yeah.
you're so you use it like a regular
Right.
liquid shampoo,
You lather in for
but it makes you not have to wash your hair as much.
Oh,
I've been wanting to try
Supposedly-
it. I haven't wanted to fork out the cash for it, but I've been
Yeah.
wanting to try it.
I had a friend who tried it, and she has very long hair,
Mhm.
and she was not a fan.
Mm.
But I think that it's something you have to get used to.
Mhm.
But her whole point was, why do I have to try so hard to do this? Like, I'll
Mhm.
just wash my hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have another friend who tried it and she loved it. Absolutely loved it.
This is
The bar,
okay.
yeah.
Where does one
But
get a shampoo
You can get one at
bar?
Lush.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
and they're
true.
like Whole Foods, I think, has
Okay,
them.
okay, okay.
The whole point is that you we overwash our hair.
Yeah, right,
Mhm.
right.
And when you overwash your skin or your hair or anything, it produces more oil
You're right,
because it
right,
has
right.
to even things out.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So this bar is supposed to even all that out so that you don't have to wash your hair as
Well, that'll
much.
be my next experiment before plaything.
About
There you go.
5-6 years ago, I decided that I was going to stop using soaps. You know, for showering and stuff, you know, I still wash my hands and whatnot with soaps, but it took about 6 weeks that I was fairly intolerable to be around. But my body did level out. It did level out, and now I use shampoo to control dandruff,
Yep.
but that's it. That's my only
Interesting.
showering implement.
Really, in fact?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't smell you.
No, it's
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's-
and you know, I don't use deodorants or antiperspirants anymore at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't use any
What
kind
do
of.
what do you use?
I
For-
use
just-
just tea tree oil based shampoo to control dandruff,
Mhm.
and that's it. And then I use beard oil from time to time. I haven't in a while. If you
right.
couldn't notice.
Huh.
Gosh, I use
Oh, you're
so
not sure.
many products.
Got a lot of products over
yeah,
there.
I-
CC,
yeah.
okay, right. I love my product too, I have to be honest. I love good smelly things. I like essential oils and like little dabs and like all the different, and you should see I have like this neat little lineup of like 10 different good smelly things in my bathroom.
I'm a skincare
Yeah.
junkie.
Okay, okay.
Like, I don't know. I've tried different things. It's a boring conversation, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to
I
recommend
spend-
something for my elephant elbows, although I feel like they've gotten much better.
Your
Well-
elephant elbows.
Elephant
so
elbows.
I use African black soap. Have
Yeah.
you seen that before?
I have.
That is the cure-all for
Okay,
everything.
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
I guess it's a shea butter product.
Okay.
It's got, like, it's really
It's like really super
moisturizing,
moist. Ooh.
but it does not, it like clears your skin up too.
Right.
So like if you break out or if you have oily spots, it'll even that out, but it's also very good if you have dry spots.
Now that you say that, I'm really into African. I had a big thing that I got from, I think, the Co-op in Lexington. And it wasn't, in fact, black. It was this beautiful shimmery gold color. It was like some fair trade kind of
Yeah.
big name, and it smelled like peppermint heaven. It was awesome. And anyway, but my skin was softer and I had fewer breakouts and all this kind of stuff. So I just,
We're at 45 minutes.
Okay, I was just curious.
Time flies.
Wow, yeah, we're having a good conversation. Okay, so what's really funny, I'm gonna admit something that was really, really funny. When I,
April Peter Pants, I don't know.
well, I mean, I think everybody's had a moment when they're
You
just
said
like, I didn't
Peter
quite make it.
Pan,
Huh?
As in Peter Pan, like the Disney character. I was like, what do you mean April Peter Pans?
I don't wanna grow up, that's what it is.
I'm a codfish!
Oh, man. Anyway.
I guess a codfish. Anyway, no, I had this moment where this was like years and years ago, probably a good 20 years ago, that I had decided that I knew that I had made it, quote unquote. That I had made it when all of the products that were in my shower were brand name.
Oh, that is, you had arrived.
I had arrived.
We've been passing that one around.
I had arrived when all of the products in my, and it was because I could afford it,
Now let me ask you
not
this.
because I necessarily wanted
Were
it.
the brand names mostly Suave? Because that's a brand. VO5.
Great
Because those are
value.
brand names. They're great value.
No. I was like the more like, I don't know.
Pantene, Pro V.
Pantene.
The other one, she's born with it.
Maybe
Maybelline.
it's Maybelline.
Maybelline. Yes, that was the thing. I had decided that I had made it when all of the products. Now I'm like, well, I'll make it when I can afford to have Lush products in there.
Yep. Yep. No, for sure, same. I go to Lush about once a year and pretend that I can afford Lush products when I buy. When
The
I
good
like.
thing about that stuff though is it does last a long
Dude,
time.
that's true. It does.
Because Aveda, so I worked there when I was in school, college,
Right on.
and their stuff is really expensive to me anyway.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
like they offered a very generous employee discount, so of course I got hooked on all the stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I can, afford the very basic shampoo from there, and I know how to make it last.
What's your favorite product? Like if I
If I have all the money in the
if
world.
you had all the money in the world, what would you like?
Lord.
What is it? What category? Or I'm just curious. Pick your brain.
So again, back to the skincare.
Yeah.
Tourmaline, which is like a
Okay.
mineral, it's a mineral that I believe, if I remember, it reflects light. So it's like a radiance,
Sure.
like skincare
Okay.
line.
Yeah.
There's a mask
Oh.
It's just really awesome.
Right on. It's like a
Okay.
peely mask? No.
No, it's just
It's like a
moisturizer
wipe
one,
off.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's a scrub
Oh.
also.
Ooh. And it makes you
Just radiant.
radiant, shiny. Okay, that's cool. This is a world, I said that I like good smelly things, and that's true, but when it comes to like actually caring for myself.
Oh, see, I'm
I don't.
super vain.
I don't.
I'm incredibly vain.
Oh,
You probably wouldn't notice it right now because I look like garbage, but
Yeah,
I really am.